Mine's another thing.
Is there a buffet or something? That's always the joke. That's always the joke.
High and tight.
Well, I've heard that before.
Early, huh?
So it's been a while, been 2 weeks. It's good to be back at it, guys. We've had, yesterday and then the walkthrough this morning. So it's nice when they came back in the building on Tuesday because it's not the same being a football coach without any players. So it's good. With that, I'll just open it up.
I know you're so forward thinking, but I guess back to the Bills game, what were some of the problems, especially at the second level?
Yeah, the tight end was an issue. There was, but then it was, the first one on the touchdown, we decided to, you could tell, we decided to take somebody else away. He found the single coverage, and in hindsight, I'd do something differently on that one. I'm not gonna talk about that right now, but, so there was one, and the big long one to the tight end was just a missed technique that can easily be cleaned up, that we've done 100 times. And so, you get those 2 or 3 explosive pass plays that kind of put you behind the 8 ball. We got them down in the red zone. We didn't play very good in the red zone, but all of them were really tight. And, so we've talked a lot about that, and it was a little disappointing. We didn't feel like, we were all saying this in the locker room, we just didn't feel like we played our best football. We thought if we had, I think we had a decent chance to win the game, but we didn't. They played better.
Steve, when you sort of did your self-scout audit, or however you want to call it, last week, how much was it skewed by your feelings about the Bills game versus your overall view of where you are? What's your sort of biggest takeaway, I guess, of what
That's a really good way to put it. We looked at obviously all 9 games and kind of put it all together, but it didn't feel great in the last one. We were feeling pretty good about, I guess, the previous games there. But, all in all, I don't think we've played our best football. I'd like to think we haven't. I do think we need to play better for where we're headed and what we're about to face, not only in the game this week, but what we got going forward. So everybody needs to step it up. It's that time of the year. I think we got guys in our unit in the locker room that recognize that and know how to step it up. So hopefully that's what will happen.
Coach, you mentioned the game this week. Historically, Sean Payton, even going back to his time with the Saints, incorporates a lot of 11 personnel. They consistently rank among the league leaders with that personnel package. What are some of the challenges and unique challenges facing the Payton offense?
Well, I think they do a really good job of changing personnel. They end up in that a lot when you do the numbers and the percentages. That's certainly the highest, and especially early in games, they're rolling a lot of people. If you've watched we'll watch the TV games, and they're rolling bodies in and out. You got to stay on top of that. That's one thing. One thing we have a little bit that we feel a little bit good about is we see 11 personnel from April. Our guys are in it all the time, so it's not something that we're uncomfortable with. But I think they do a really good job in what they have quarterback-wise and what he does really well, and I think that's why they've had some success.
Steve, what have you seen from Bo Nix this year compared to last year?
Yeah, listen, so he's a year under his belt. He looks like he has full command of what to do at the line of scrimmage. You could see that last year as the year went on. He got better and better at that. I think their coaches obviously have confidence in him now with changing plays. And he's another athletic quarterback. Those guys are always a little bit of a headache because even when you're right in what you're doing, he can make you look bad by making you miss.
Steve,
You played Bill Williams quite a bit and allowed you to Trent to the slot. Was that matchup dictated? Or
Yeah, a little bit. Last week you're talking about,
Yeah.
it was a little bit more. Their slot play was pretty good. So, and I think we talked about this before. Every week's going to be a little bit different. We'll see where we're at this week as well.
I know it's the other side of the ball, but Hairston from Buffalo was talking about Xavier Tippin, what he was doing. I'm just curious how often you run into where you or someone on your side of the ball can pick
find
up
something.
Yeah, can see that.
Yeah. We're always looking for it. The best place to get a lot of that stuff is off the TV copies, the broadcast, especially verbal things. I don't know what it was. I don't know what they were talking about there. I don't know if anybody ever discovered it, but listen, our guys, like the back end guys, are always studying wide out stances. How they align. There's the width alignment, how close are they to the numbers, et cetera, et cetera. And if you can find something to hang your hat on, you do. It's not always easy to do because I think coaches are smart enough to change it up. But I don't know whether they had worked or not. I'm not privy to. Matt heard that, but I don't even know what it was. So I'll let you guys figure it out.
Steve, you've had a pretty good pattern of about this time of year and later really getting better and better as you go. I'm sure it's a vast topic, but I mean, what do you attribute that to? That generally speaking, you guys have been able to peak defensively
Yeah.
on into the last months.
But we have been able to do that. I hope that continues, because we do need to get better. I give all the credit to the assistant coaches and the players. I mean, you gotta have coaches that feed it and keep working at it, which our guys do. And then you gotta have cerebral players that embrace it, wanna get better. We got a lot of guys that, you know, we always talk about chasing improvement, and that's what our guys do. Not every team has that, I don't think, but we're blessed that we got guys that think that way.
Do you feel like it gives
Couple
you more
months.
flexibility early,
Yeah.
like that you know you're working towards that as opposed to it's all immediate?
Yeah, I mean, as the season goes, we try to add, because we feel like we can with our guys, and I think you can only do that if you got trust in the guys are gonna pick it up and do it, so there is part of that.
We'll go last three. Todd, go ahead.
Coach, you guys generally even keel, big game, little game, whatever. I mean, they're all the same. That's Andy's way. But does this feel like a little different than what you kind of had the last several years? You generally haven't been the team chasing someone at this point of the season.
You know, it's funny, I get exactly what you're saying, and I guess if I don't do it a lot, like I'm not one that looks around the league that much. I can honestly tell you that. I mean, and I couldn't tell you the standings of other divisions and all that. I just know, I'm kind of just, and Andy's built this way, and maybe it's from working with him all those years, but it is truly what's on the plate next. You know, I've always said, now it might be different now because we're at 17 games and not 16, but it's a race to win 10 games, you know, or win as many as you can, and then see if that gets you in the playoffs after. So that's kind of been where the thought process is. Now, look, we know going to Denver, it's a division game, they're really good, you know, hopefully we're getting better, it's a big game, so I think our guys feel that.
Nick?
Steve, how important is it to keep Bo unsettled and out of rhythm?
Yeah, it's a rhythm passing game. I mean, what they were really good at is the play action, I call movement passes, you know, whether it's a boot or whether it's just play action and they block it up. They're really good at that. Now, that's not always easy to get them out of rhythm on those because they've got a lot of people packed in there, so a part of it comes back to tight coverage and getting them hold on the ball a little bit. And then we always talk about somebody's got to punch a hole in the protection.
Last one, Pete.
Yeah, I think, we know where you'll go with this, but the Giants job opened up, your name was instantly connected.
Yeah, we're good. We're playing Denver.
Thank you.
That makes sense? Thanks, guys.